Welcome to this course, Learn Cybersecurity Python Programming in one day. Whether you're new to Python programming or cybersecurity and you're looking to break into the field, or you're an experienced professional looking to expand your knowledge, this course is for you. This course doesn't cover everything in Python, but it gives you enough knowledge to get you up and running in the cybersecurity workspace. This course will cover Python programming within the cybersecurity context. In today's tech-focused world, security and security automation is a top priority, helping to protect from the growing risks to our data, services, and people. Automation is critical to maintain pace with that trend. We'll cover some of the basic Python programming terminology, the important information you need to know to get up to speed and how to understand Python, what it takes to write a Python script, and much more. So please enjoy this course, and I hope it gives you educational value. Section 1, and this section will give a brief overview of getting set up and looking at the different ways you can start writing Python code. Section 2 will look at the Python primer, and this will be the first introduction into Python itself, covering some of the most common parts of Python so that when you start developing, you will not be overwhelmed. Section 3 delves into the file operations, and this is how to use Python to open, read and write to files as a common software development must. Section 4, once you understood file operations, is time to move on to database operations and looking at how to query, read and write data to databases. Section 5 is a short section covering encoding and decoding, and once you've completed this, you'll better understand how to interpret data and transform it into something meaningful for your needs. And Section 6 will be entirely made up of demos, short demos covering common cybersecurity scenarios that you can take away and reference and learn from. And the last section is a summary where we'll wrap up and you continue your learning journey. To get started, you'll need to install a copy of Python, and to do that we can visit the Python website, and the website is shown here. Download and install the software, and during the installation steps, ensure Python is added to your path. Enabling this setting will help the software work without any issue occurring with missing file paths. Once Python is installed, it will come included with an IDE, an integrated development environment, and this is software we'll use to write your scripts in. The IDE bundled with Python is called idle. There are also alternative IDE software you can use. I'll also install a copy of Visual Studio and configure it to do development. The choice of which IDE to use is entirely up to you as a developer, as a personal preference. I've already visited the Python website and I've downloaded the Python installation, which I will open. The first thing I need to do is tick the box saying Add Python to Path. And then go ahead and click the Install Now button. The path option is important. If we don't click that now, it will involve some extra work to add the path manually, which is time consuming. Without the path set, the scripts you write can have difficulty running. Ideally, I think this option should be enabled automatically, but it's just one of those quirks to remember. Depending on your machine, the time to install can vary. Faster computers usually means a faster installation and less time waiting. If there's any problems installing, try reinstalling again. In the worst case, you can try and download again and repeat the steps. I'll choose to disable the path limit, and then I'll close that window. And that's all there is to it. Python's installed. From the desktop, I'll search for idle and go ahead and launch it from the desktop. Idle is quick to start, and we can create a new file, and idle is up and running. I'm now at the Visual Studio website, and it's the same as before. Download and install the installation file. I'm going to skip that part and go straight to after the installation, as I've already got Visual Studio installed. And I'll navigate to Extensions, search for Python, and this is where you can add support for Python, which I've already done, and this will allow you to develop software using Python language in Visual Studio. In this demo, you learned how to install Python from the Python website, making sure that the Python path is set. You then learned about idle, the IDE software that is bundled with the Python installation. And finally, you installed and configured an alternative IDE called Visual Studio.